Welcome to VC Crypto Nation on the Crypto News Network, guys. Big news, man. You know, things that we got to pay attention to, and the reason why it's important because there are no coincidences. I don't know how much you guys are looking on the big scale, but right now in crypto, it's probably the biggest thing in the moment, right? This is literally the crypto. How are we going to say this one? Let's go with the Crypto Tea Party 2022. Like, this is literally the moment in time that the people in crypto, which is very, very small, I'm talking about minuscule amounts of people that have latched onto this technology for the right reason, which is peer-to-peer, and to get away from all these companies and abuse and people taking advantage of people, and you know, these huge exchanges who have made hundreds of billions of dollars on the people's backs, and yet the people are, you know, what do they bring to the table? Binance brings in futures, Binance brings in all these things, rapes and pillages the people, and takes advantage of the retail investors, just like the stock market. It's an ugly game out there. Guys, we need a people's exchange. We need to boycott these guys. You know, Binance is a disgusting machine that just made way too much money, and they just take advantage of everybody. If you do your research, you're going to know. But at some point, people have to wake up and say, hey, this isn't about the moon boys and the moon coins that can make you, you know, some people rich and others poor. This is about creating something that we're going to have for longevity, something that we can use peer-to-peer. This is for humanity, right? Now, when I read this article here, none of it makes sense. First of all, crypto exchange Binance removes a Twitter emoji that, you know, resembles a swastika after outcry. I mean, really, the outcry has to come for you to look at your thing and realize it's a swastika. And don't give me the BS that you did not notice that it was a swastika. Everything that you were doing was in a certain manner. And if people pay attention to how things were done, you can tell. Like, for instance, when you go into Binance and take a look at what was going on. So before, here's Binance's entire logo. Notice how it's a diamond, right? Everywhere it's been a diamond. And then all of a sudden, when it puts it on this side, see the diamond? Everything is the same way. Now, when they released it, why is their logo laid flat on a square? I mean, guys, wake up, man. But more importantly, this was the interview, and this interview has a couple things in here that I want you to listen to that kind of, if you're in crypto, you're going to love to hear what it's saying.
So, Cece, let me ask you first about Ukraine. There is real concern that crypto in particular is a really easy way for Russian oligarchs to be siphoning money out of the country, sheltering it somewhere where it's very difficult for people to track.
I think those are pretty much all based on lack of understanding of crypto. There's a couple dimensions to that. Number one is crypto is very, very small. Crypto probably represents 0.3% of the global wealth, and probably the same proportion for oligarchs in Russia. So crypto is not enough to move any significant amount of money. And also Bitcoin blockchains are very traceable. So the hackers who hacked Bitfinex in 2016, as soon as they used the money this year, they got caught. And the law enforcement around the world are increasingly very adept at it. So those things, I think that's just a lack of understanding about what Bitcoin or crypto really is.
Nonetheless, what have you actually done to make sure that those on the sanctions list are not your users?
Right. So just this morning, I got an update from our team that we looked through all the sanctioned people, all the people on the sanction list. We have our sanction department actually look at this very, very closely, and only one person it has ever used our platform, and this is a kid of one of the persons on the sanction list. So in that regard, actually, none of the people on the sanction list actually ever used Binance.
There has been a call from the deputy president of Ukraine for crypto companies to essentially block the use by Russians. What's your answer to that? And is the answer to basically freeze accounts from Russia?
So we thought about this long and hard, and I think basically we don't have the power to decide to freeze a population's assets ourselves. I think that decision power should be resting with very senior levels at the government. The guys who create sanctions. we follow those sanction lists. So just like banks. So today, if a Russian person is working on the street of London, they probably do have a bank account with some bank in London. That the CEO of that bank probably should not unilaterally just decide himself to freeze that person's bank balance. I cannot make a decision just I'm going to freeze your assets on Binance. That I don't think I believe that would be illegal, at best unethical. So we don't have the power to decide that.
At a time when Russians at this point cannot get dollars out of the ATM, the ruble, of course, is crashing. What role for crypto? For regular Russians?
I mean, why are the Russian people being punished for a war that they're not even in? They're civilians.
Does crypto at that point play something of a role?
It's disgusting how many. I mean, imagine if they did that to us
play a
every time
role,
we
but
invaded.
I think people are way over exaggerating that. As I said before, based on my calculations, crypto probably represents less than 0.3% of the wealth.
That's how early you are.
0.3%
of the wealth,
and probably the same percentage in Russia. And crypto is so small that you can't move all of the Russia's GDP, which is $1.5 trillion a year ago, into crypto. Crypto is just not big enough to handle that. And also, people miss the point that Russia government actually wants to block crypto. The Russia government actually wants to block. They actually last week issued they're going to block international exchanges. They're going to block people from using international exchanges
because they want the money in the ruble.
Russian banks don't work with crypto exchanges. So for the Russian government actually don't want people to convert from rubles to crypto. That hurts the ruble, which is already crashed, as you said, which is already crashing. So I was talking with a politician here just yesterday, and he says, look, the West should allow Russians to use crypto because that would devalue the ruble, which hurts the current government quite a lot more. So there's different views on that.
So crypto is...
Did you guys hear what he just said?
Ruble, which is already crashed, as you said, which is already...
Look at the date.
For crypto.
Hold on.
So we don't have the power to decide that.
So this is on April 20th.
At a time when
Russia's GDP, which is 1.5 trillion, is just not big enough to handle that.
Listen to what he says.
People miss the point that Russia government actually wants to block crypto. The Russian government actually wants to block.
Listen to what he says. I was actually just talking.
They're going to block international exchanges. They're going to block people from using international exchanges. Russian banks don't work with crypto exchanges. So for the Russian government actually don't want people to convert from rubles to crypto. That hurts the ruble, which is already crashed, as you said, which is already crashing.
You want to know why they blocked Russia?
I was talking with a politician here just yesterday.
He was talking to a politician.
The West should allow Russia.
Are you ready?
That hurts the ruble, which is already crashed, as you said, which is already crashing.
The next day, what did they do?
So I was talking with a politician here just yesterday. And
talking to a politician just yesterday.
The West should allow Russians to use crypto because that would devalue the ruble, which hurts the current government quite a lot more. So there's different views on that.
So crypto is, as you say, tiny, 0.3%. What do you foresee? I realize you don't have a crystal ball, but are we at the beginning of something that is really, really big, and that in 10 years' time we're going to look back and think of this time as being the very beginning of something?
Of course.
So I think it's very hard to predict the future, and it's very hard to predict with very precise timing how the future is going to evolve. But things like e-commerce, in the early days, it had a lot of difficulties, but eventually it took off. And it's very difficult to say at what point is exactly something going to happen. There's so many factors we can't control. But crypto fundamentally, blockchain is a new technology for trust, for establishing a common record, for establishing a ledger.
Trust.
This technology will continue to evolve. I think right now in the crypto industry, there's probably a couple 100 million people who have some kind of exposure to crypto. And with this type of couple hundred million people
only
involved,
couple hundred million.
There's more and more people working
around
on
the world.
This technology is going to continue to evolve, and it's not technology that doesn't go backwards.
Boom, there you go. Now, what's weird about that, talking about he just talked to a politician. What was he doing just talking to a politician the day before, right? It's pretty crazy how that happens. And then you take a look, Binance puts restrictions, literally, that was on the 20th. The 21st, the next day, there you go. So now Binance puts restrictions on the Russian accounts a day before the reports, says that the company surrendered a day before. The report says company surrendered user info to Putin. I mean, obviously Russia does not want to use crypto. Russia's against it, but I want you to guys to understand what this means. You know, there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there on who created it, why is it around, and all these things, but you have to kind of let it swirl there. But just focusing on what we have to look at here, it's very simple. When you look at this entire breakdown of what Binance did, putting the swastika out there, their entire logo is a diamond, right? You see the diamond? The entire logo is a diamond. Okay? Why, when you come out and you release this one, why is your logo square? All right, why do they put the square down there? It's just weird. They could have easily they didn't need to put any of this extra in here. They could have just put these little lines coming out of the diamond, but they squared it up for a reason. I mean, guys, you have to pay attention to this, the madness out here. It's just so interesting how everything works. But yeah, do your pay attention. Me personally, I don't like any of these exchanges that are making all the money on the backs of the people inside this space. We need exchanges and wallets that pay us, right? They're making hundreds of millions, right? Billions of dollars. And all the people are struggling to even get 10% interest back on your money, right? The whole purpose of crypto, don't forget, is to be a peer-to-peer, become the bank, and literally live a better life, right? And if you allow them to take away the peer-to-peer, and you allow them to take away your interest, and if you allow them to take away the entire reason crypto was invented, or the purpose, or the whole vision of it, then you are allowing them to take away your freedom. You're allowing them to take away the freedom of your kids and their kids, and you're putting yourself, you're losing the battle for all the people out there. So focus on what that really means, guys. Food for thought. You know, hashtag leave Binance, and we should leave Binance. We need to find exchanges that only work for the people, and they're going to come. We just have to ask for it. How they're going to show up is when we start leaving these other exchanges, boycotting them. Go to their Twitter, man. Go to all their Twitter, blow up their Twitters. Hashtag leave Binance. Tell them you're tired of them charging so much. You're tired of them making billions of dollars when the crypto space is stuck at 1.8 trillion. I mean, put some billions into it. What are they building? I mean, everything that they come up with, all it is a way for you to lose money. Just food for thought, man. Just opinion. Just figure we throw it out there on the comments down below. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know if it was an error. Let me know what you believe. Let me know, what you think of Binance. Give me some stories out there. Don't forget to retweet and you put it out there, guys. Other than that, man, good luck to everything you're doing out there, guys.